let's dive in with our first story. The Anthropic settlement class action lawsuit website is up. The website is
Bum-ba-da-bum.
anthropicCopyrightSettlement.com. That is anthropicCopyrightSettlement.com. It's now fully operational, has a searchable works list and claims form. Before you go spending your winnings, okay, keep in mind there's no final approval yet, but with the release of this full book list, we'll at least let you know if you're in the class or not. Thomas, what's your thoughts on that?
So this is the only search engine that matters. So whatever you saw from Authors Guild or New York Times or any of the other websites, they don't matter. This is the one that matters because this is the authoritative one from the court itself. So these kinds of websites are very common in class action lawsuits. One correction I would like to say on this is that it's very unlikely that these earnings are tax-free. So sometimes when you get money from a court case, it is tax-free, but it tends to be like if there's been pain and suffering or emotional harm, and it's not always tax-free. And it looks like you're probably going to have to pay taxes on your Anthropic winnings, but check with your CPA because, who knows? You're like, hey, I had pain and suffering, and maybe your CPA can make a portion of that. One big question, and I don't know if we have a good answer to it, but I'm curious to hear what y'all think in the chat, is should agents get a cut? Now, legally, I think it comes down to how the contract is worded, although practically, I think it comes down to who gets the check. So if Anthropic cuts a check to your publisher, and then your publisher issues you half of that money, it's very likely that they will cut off the 15% for your agent. So like I said last week, there's a lot of piglets at the trough. And so your 3,000 may end up being closer to 1,000 per book. But I know authors who have 20, 30, 40 books in this class, and that is potentially a lot of money. So traditionally published authors have been following this very closely. You don't have to be traditionally published to be eligible, but you do have to have had a book that was notable enough for Anthropic to train on, and you have to have registered your copyright.